Interview assignments are generally given as a means for you to back up what you've said you can do in your interview and on your CV. They quite often have two purposes. First of all, to make sure you can do the job. Secondly, actually just to see how you work and how you get there. Because of that, some of these assignments generally don't always have a right or a wrong answer. It's more just a case of seeing how you get to the solution and seeing if the way that you work fits with how the team and the company works. In my opinion, a reasonable assignment shouldn't take you any longer than about 3 hours to complete. However, it's not uncommon for them to be longer than that. I've even had an assignment given to me once where they expected me to take 10 days to do it. It's up to you how much you want the job at that point. Make sure you utilise communication as well with them when you're actually doing the assignment, and email them if you've got any questions about it. But communication will also be a key in what they're looking for. The big red flag, of course, is if they are just asking you to do free work for them. Google Revolut interview controversy if you want to know what that allegedly looks like.
In today's business and financial news, let's discuss the assignments that many employers are requesting as part of the job interview process. So you have applied for a job, they're getting back to you, maybe you've gone through the pre-screener interview, and now you're continuing in the process, and the company wants you to complete some assessments. These assessments can be titled or posed under different names, but essentially the employer is requesting you complete an assessment of some sort for free for them as part of the interview process, usually to show your skills and your aptitude in whatever role that they are considering you for. This pre-work assignment is free, essentially. Well, it's going to cost you your time and energy, but the company, the prospective employer, is not paying you for it. As a job applicant, do you complete these? Or do you completely decline doing them at all? Let us know in the comments. But for better context, let's give you a couple examples of such assessments. So the first example that we're going to give you is a marketing role within a financial services company. So this company provides you a timed assessment. So essentially you and the company agree on a date and a time by which they will forward you the assessment material. And then you have 90 minutes to complete the assessment material and then forward it back to them. So it's a timed assessment, 90 minutes, and during that 90 minutes for your assessment, you'll get a PowerPoint and it will have some charts, it'll have profits and returns, some additional financial reporting, and you need to proofread it. You might need to come up with a PowerPoint of some sort, and you can use whatever resources you have, including the internet, to complete that portion of the assessment. And then also you're going to create a one-pager, so essentially a pitch book, I guess we could say a pitch page, concerning the financial product, which is fixed income, and really the company says they're trying to understand your thought process. So all of that would be included in your 90 minutes, you get it done, and then you send it back to them. That's one example of an assessment. Our second example would be another marketing role, but this one is in the, let's say, the academic industry. And the company this time doesn't give you a specific amount of time in that they don't give you like 90 minutes or 2 hours. Instead, the company gives you the materials and the prompts, and then they give you a week to complete it before it's due, the day before you go in and do an interview with the team. So again, you have your screener interview with the company. They say, okay, great, we're going to continue on to a group interview with more people at the company in about a week. And during that week, we need you to complete this assessment. The assessment has 3 parts. Again, this role is in marketing. The first part is that you're going to come up with a sample social media post. And this is to show thought leadership, to show that you know how to create these media posts and that you know how to convey the tone or the voice and that company concerning their marketing material. That's the first part. The next that they're asking from you is concerning social media, but this is more ideas and thought leadership. So they're asking specifically for 3 to 5 emerging social media trends, resources, and other tools that you think their company should adopt in the next year. And they want you to summarize those suggestions and those tools in order for you to have a conversation with them and their leadership when you go in for your in-person interview. And then the last part of the assessment is a case study. So they're considering a social media marketing campaign, and they want you to essentially come up with the ideas and the collateral and the schedule the action items for the social media campaign. And then you'll be presenting that when you go for your interview in person. So again, to summarize, this is a marketing campaign. This is a marketing role in the academic industry. They want 3 parts. So they want a social media post, they want ideas about social media trends and tools, and then they want social media campaign from you. Ooh, that's a lot, right?
They're straight up asking you to do like a whole marketing campaign for free in this economy. I'm so over the interview assignments. Plus, I have a portfolio, like I can direct them to there. I just am going forward, not going to do assignments because I have been ghosted one too many times after doing assignments. It's like, at that point, at least give me feedback. I want to know what you thought. So yeah, I don't think that we should take this.
You have finally been extended an offer to start the interview process for an associate product management role at a tech company. But you have to do a homework assignment first. Ew. And here's the truth about those homework assignments. If you don't submit that homework assignment in the next 48 hours, good luck. You're not getting a call back. Because think about how many other people they extended that homework assignment to. Hundreds, if not more. The first 50 homework assignments they get are going to be way beyond their capacity of what they can actually review. So it's safe to assume that once you get that assignment, it's basically a race of who is going to get that homework assignment back in the hands of the recruiter the fastest to eventually be considered. And the thing is, that's only because most of these companies have 1, 2, 5 open positions for this job. And so if in the first 50 homework assignments they get, but they find that right candidate, there is no incentive for them to look at your assignment. So what I always tell people is when you get that homework assignment, you run, you stop everything you're doing, you get that done to the best of your ability, and definitely prioritize speed over quality. But also make it quality. You kind of need.
The trickiest part of the job interview is not the actual interview. What I'm seeing right now from tons of people I know are these insane homework projects for any role people are interviewing for. A homework project from a brand should not be a launch strategy for a season, should not be give me a content calendar for 2 weeks. It should ask the candidate to show their thought process. And how you do that is not by making them do hours of work, because that is asking someone to work for free. You can ask someone to share verbally their thought process with how they would put together a launch strategy, or show me examples from your past work or even other brands that you thought did a good job. But I am actually being sent from people I know these homework assignments, and my mind is blown. You cannot ask candidates to do that. And if you were a candidate and you were asked to do that, what you need to say very nicely is, I'm so interested in this role, but the scope of the project you're asking me to complete is actually hours of strategy and work, and I don't feel comfortable completing it. I am happy to talk you through any of my past projects and my thought process for how I approached these strategies, but unfortunately, I'm gonna have to decline this project. It is not worth it. By the way, you're probably not gonna get that job, but what they will do is take your idea.
Take home projects during the interview. Here are my thoughts behind this. Number one, if you are going to make a candidate do take home assignments, you really need to pay for their work, particularly if you're going to use it within your business. Number two, a lot of companies think that if someone isn't willing to do the take home work, they're not a good candidate. I don't believe there's any data around this. And in fact, I think if you look at the overall situation, if you're a candidate that's interviewing and trying to get a job and you're applying lots of places, the truth is, if one company is asking you to do a take-home assignment and another one isn't, you're going to be more efficient and you're going to go with the company that isn't. And I think right now, with how the job market is, where companies are getting a lot of applications, they're actually using take-home projects as a way to weed people out. And number three, my own personal opinion, I actually think it's a red flag when there's take-home assignments. And number three, I think an assessment, which is different than a take-home project, is a far better way to assess, particularly for technical talent. For everything else, there's portfolios, there's work that you've actually done, And that's what the questions should be centered around. You shouldn't be giving people work to do.
Back to our original question. As a job applicant, do you complete these or do you completely decline them? I guess you'd have to do that rather politely, because if you come back and say, I'm absolutely not going to do all of that, then that might take you out of the running for the job application, for the job process, the interview process. Let us know in the comments if you complete these or if you decline from doing them. Also, if you have completed such assessments in the past, did you get the job? Do you watermark or copyright your work to ensure, I guess, to better ensure that the company doesn't use your work without you, or without reimbursing you, or without hiring you?
Social media people are given a ton of bullshit assignments of create a social media plan for our company of what you'll do over 60 days and the type of TikTok videos you will make. And you'll instantly see those companies doing it when they don't hire you.
I have an interview and they want me to do a project. I feel that's weird. What do you think? Oh, it's super common these days for companies to have you do a project. Let me explain why. AI, ChatGPT, and all this technology has given a massive rise to people putting in fake credentials. So they're optimizing their resumes and their applications to be a match for a job. So now it's harder and harder for people to know if you really are who you say you are and can do what you say you can do. So companies now want evidence, proof that you are capable of doing the job. And one of the ways they're demanding that is by having people do projects. It's very normal. It's going to continue to be normal. There's going to be a lot more of this. Skills-based hiring, evidence-based hiring, anything they can do to really lock people in and make sure they really know what they're talking about and they didn't lie. Because there's so much lying going on. People are just trying to game the system to get a job interview and then fake their way through a job interview. Companies don't want that. So the project is a way to weed you out. Like if you can't do the project, then they know that you're not capable. So you're going to see a lot more of this. Also, just so you know, that's pretty common. The higher you go up in your career and the more valuable you are in your career and the more important of a job, it is far more common for you to have not only more interviews to get the job, but special projects to get the job.
Do you send the company a bill if you didn't get the job? Okay, that's all for now. Thanks for listening. See you soon.